Lavanya from Lexus and Company. Today I'll be talking about undue influence. Undue influence is given under Section 13 of Indian Contract Act, which defines consent as the meeting of the minds of the parties, which is consist at adherence. It means when there is an agreement on the same thing in the same sense. Section 14 further qualifies consent as an important ingredient of a valid binding contract as mentioned under Section 10, stating that consent is free unless it is by coercion. Section 15, undue influence 16, fraud 17, misrepresentation 18, or mistake from 20 to 22. Now, what is undue influence? Section 16 of Indian Contract Act says that a contract is said to be induced by undue influence where the will of the consenting parties is dominated or violated in either cases. It further qualifies that if a person is able to dominate the other, then he has a real or apparent authority arising out of fiduciary relationship, which is the relationship of trust, forms the contract with which the person uses his mental capability due to illness or age. The burden of proof to prove that the contract was not affected from undue influence lies on the defendant, that is, the person who is in the position of domination. Now there lies the principle of equity, which was established by the English courts of King's Bench. Thus, every contract which involves undue influence comes under the ambit of principle of equity. Types of undue influence. In the judgment of Elkhart vs. Skinner, that classified the cases on undue influence in two parts: those in which there is a charge against Dhoni and where there is an abuse of opportunities which a person got through his duty. The court in the above case further elaborated on the ratio. There are two conditions which are needed to be proved by the person to seek damages: that the relation between the parties is one which is able to influence the decision of the others; that the donee on the defendant has abused his position to enrich himself. Now there are certain essentials. The first being the relationship between the parties, which should be based on fiduciary, which is trust; then the dominating position of the respondent, the unfair advantage, the real or the apparent authority, and that it affects the mental capacity, as it was held in Inder Singh versus Dayal Singh. Who can file a plea against the undue influence? Any party or any legal representative of the party who have executed the document or formed the contract under such undue influence can. What are the effects of undue influence? Under Section 19 of the Contract Act, the agreement induced by such influence is voidable at the option of the party whose consent was taken by influencing him or her. The performance of such agreements may be avoided absolutely or on prescribing certain terms and conditions.